Hi folks, I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness. Shark has released dozens of videos exposing bad police officers and police departments who have acted on behalf of animal abusers. Let me first be very clear when I say generally that not all cops are bad. They're not. Unfortunately, in our line of work, we do run up against the dregs a lot, as this video demonstrates all too clearly. In June 2020, Shark and the Humane Farming Association launched a groundbreaking campaign against illegal cockfight operations in Kentucky. We weren't issuing press releases from the comfort of our homes or offices. We were on the ground with undercover cameras and in the air with our drones. In the space of just a few weeks, we successfully exposed and shut down 4 large cockfighting venues. We worked in 3 counties, Butler, McCreary, and Clay. We came to realize that in each of these counties, the local police, the county sheriff, and the state police knew about the cockfights and allowed them to continue. One of those cockfight locations was the Laurel Creek Game Club in Manchester, Clay County, where our investigators actually filmed 2 Clay County sheriff's deputies socializing with cockfighters. Instead of enforcing the law, these deputies acted as security for this illegal activity. Another Clay County deputy claimed in a phone call that cockfighting is legal, which it certainly is not. My associate, Stu Chaffetz, was told there's nothing happening at this cockfight. I'm at the cockfight.
They're fighting roosters. That's what's happening.
You know that?
Yeah.
You got a problem with that?
It's not illegal in the state of Kentucky.
Our efforts caused a massive backlash from cockfighters nationwide who have made numerous death threats against us. But it also angered Clay County Sheriff Patrick Robinson, who was upset that we exposed his deputies' incompetence and/or corruption. We decided to dig deep into Sheriff Robinson and his office, so we submitted a public records request. The materials received in the response included a series of text messages from officers of 3 police agencies: the Manchester Police Department, the Clay County Sheriff's Department, and the Kentucky State Police. It should be noted that the record of these messages is, without explanation, very incomplete. There are clearly gaps in the conversations, meaning that much of the material has been withheld. What is so significant is that even though much is excluded, what we did receive is deeply disturbing. One of the most serious and damning posts was written by Kentucky State Trooper Logan Wolf, who recounted a talk he had with the owner of the Laurel Creek Game Club.
I said we all have a black eye no matter what we do. He asked me if it was illegal and what to do. He more or less wanted to know what we could do to continue to let him fight chickens. He said we've done it for years and always gotten away with it. He led the conversation to believe that the SO and KSP has let him do it. Now that's true. We don't stop it because no one knows for sure what the crime is other than gambling.
Right there, in his own words, Trooper Wolf admits that Clay County Sheriff Patrick Robinson and his predecessors, as well as the Kentucky State Police, allowed the Laurel Creek cockfighting pit to operate a major criminal operation for years. Parsing his message further, why exactly would the police have a black eye for shutting down criminal activity? Unless there is much more to who is behind the cockfighting pit and how much political power they wield. In a local newspaper article, Sheriff Robinson tried to minimize the issue by saying, "I've got more problems to deal with than 2 roosters fighting." Either Sheriff Robinson is the most stupid person to ever wear a badge, or he's utterly corrupt, because this is not about 2 roosters. As any honest law enforcement agency will tell you, cockfighting does not occur in a vacuum. Cockfighting is associated with other criminal acts, including illegal gambling, which Trooper Wolf admits in his text message, drug dealing, weapons offenses, and more. By not shutting down Laurel Creek years ago, local police, the county sheriff, and the state police gave Laurel Creek carte blanche to admit criminals and criminal behavior into Manchester, Clay County, and Kentucky generally, destroying the lives of both animals and potentially humans. The records we received also include a number of instances where officers demeaned or outright attacked shark investigators, such as when Trent Baker, a deputy sheriff who is also the Clay County Sheriff Public Relations Officer, showed his ill will towards shark when he implies COVID-19, stating,
"But I would feel awful if I would give it to anyone or got it, except if I gave it to the shark people."
The most alarming message, however, was when Trent Baker wrote,
"Shark guy's gonna go missing."
Shark guy's gonna go missing. Not he wants us to go missing or even might go missing. Trent Baker's death threat is a statement, a claim, a prediction. We might expect that from a hardcore cockfighter, but from a sheriff's deputy, the public information officer of a sheriff's department? So, how many officers do you think chastised or at least cautioned Mr. Baker for his death threat in this group of law enforcement professionals? A dozen? 6 cops? 1? The answer is not a single cop said a thing. In this time when the public has seen so many abuses by police, I take Clay County Sheriff's Deputy and Public Affairs Officer Trent Baker at his word when he says,
"Shark guy's gonna go missing."
That's a death threat if there's ever been one. As I mentioned earlier, this record, even with all its damning information, appears to have either been doctored and/or important conversations have been withheld. Shark and HFA have retained the services of the Kentucky law firm of Beatty Brophy, PLLC, to obtain everything that was withheld or illegally scrubbed from our request. We've already filed an appeal to the withholding of so many of the records we sought. The appeal was sent by certified letters to Clay County Sheriff Patrick Robinson and Custodian of Records Carla Neely. Incredibly, both of the certified letters sent to this tax-funded law enforcement agency were refused. That's about as brazen as corruption gets, even in Clay County. What's the matter, Sheriff Robinson? Are we getting a little too close? What is uncontested is that local, county, and state police allowed a major criminal enterprise to operate unimpeded for years. Not one charge has been filed against anyone involved in the Laurel Creek criminal enterprise, and a death threat by one officer against shark investigators wasn't condemned by anyone in the law enforcement community. Welcome to Kentucky. We have sent our evidence to the FBI and called for an investigation into all the police agencies involved for their possible criminal acts as well as civil rights violations. Stay tuned for much, much more on this disturbing story of cruelty, cowardice, and corruption. Moving forward, Shark and HFA are gearing up to continue our fight against cockfighting in Kentucky and beyond as soon as molting is over and the fighting resumes. That's just a few weeks away. The fight will require an enormous amount of time, money, and effort to travel to every location we are aware of in Kentucky and nationwide. Considering that cockfighting has been illegal nationwide for well over a decade, it is long past time that this cruelty and corruption end. Big groups such as the Humane Society of the United States, with its hundreds of millions of dollars, have utterly failed our animal friends. Shark and the Humane Farming Association intend to follow through. Please donate to help us make this possible. I'm Steve Hindy for Showing Animals Respect and Kindness, and we are going to crush cockfighting.
Thank you for watching. Please like and share this video. You can subscribe to our channel to see more of our investigations and learn what you can do to help Shark help animals. To support Shark directly and gain access to exclusive content, consider sponsoring us on Patreon.